Okay, this video is going to concentrate on this product, the HDML ClonerBox. Basically, if you want this product, you want to record HDMI content like PlayStation 4 or TV shows. And I've got rid of my VHS tapes and I switched to this. It's really small. It records in MP4. This costs about $100 now to $129, somewhere in that range. You can get other products like PCI cards that record TV shows in the native format. I prefer this because I record original content, MPEG, the high quality stuff in the MPEG format, and then I reduce it and make my MP4s from there. Much more sophisticated editing, cutting out commercials, really easy. I can cut out commercials with the end product, the MPEG here. I can cut out commercials within 4 minutes. There's also another one. I love this product, AverMedia AverTV Hybrid Nano Express. It's basically the same thing as that one card I showed you, except it just fits into your laptop. Does the same thing. Put your TV antenna in here and you can stream live shows. I prefer those because it records the native MPEG format, and I can delete or get rid of the commercials and compile it to another MPEG within 4 minutes. Really easy. Now this one, it just records to thumb drive in MP4 format. So you really can't, unless you go, and I'll go into the steps on how to do it to make it so you can edit out the commercials. But if you just want it, like I use it just for a VHS alternative, I just want something digital, I can stream, and I can skip through the commercials within seconds. And so that's why I like this. I've used it about 15 times to record movies, TV shows. I love it. I prefer this now. I don't want to use the VHS tapes anymore. So let me go into it a little bit. It's got a record button. It's got a power button. Basically, you would hook in your HDMI cord from your DirecTV in here, or actually, scratch that. Give you a little hint here. Get yourself a VUHD HDMI 1 and 2 splitter. You can see the number there on Amazon for like $20. Basically, you put in your DirecTV into this, and it will split it into two. You can go one to the TV, one to the ClonerBox, and this will help you record all your shows. It doesn't have the copyright protection. It gets rid of that with this. So you must have this in order for some shows to record. I've run into like the CW shows like that. I can't record unless I have the splitter box, but it works flawlessly. So get yourself that. So you're looking at 100 and then 20. So you're probably going to be 120. And then if you've got a thumb drive, whatever that costs. I've got one of the more larger ones, the 128 gig, but 16 gig would be fine. Basically, an hour show would be like 2 gig on average. If you're at the lower setting, and the lower settings, I'll get into in a second. This button, record stop, and it also has 720p and 1080p. So in the instructions, it says to press it down. Well, once everything's hooked in, you turn the power on right here, and then it will blink and get kind of ready, see where everything's at, and then it'll just be solid, hopefully. So then you're ready to record, and this happens within like 5 seconds, really quick. So if you want to record, you just hit the button record, and that's it. It starts recording. If you hold, before you do it, if you hold it in for a couple seconds, it will go to the higher 1080p. So, if you've got a good quality show, you want to get in 1080p, you just hold it down. And the different color, let me see here, I got the instructions up here. Solid green, this little LED will be a solid green if it's at 720 or other resolutions, or a solid blue for the 1080p. So it's the blue for the higher quality. But a lot of times it depends on what your DirecTV is set on. If you go to the DirecTV remote, you would go to Res and hit the Res and get the right resolution to what you wanted the resolution to be. So it's pretty easy. Like I said, I've done it dozens of times. It records flawlessly, and what I'll do is I'll add onto this video, I'll just show a screenshot of an actual frame that this is recorded from, an actual show. I think I have Blind Spot recorded. So what I'll do is I'll just show you in like a screenshot of the actual video, so you can see what kind of quality. But it's not as good as like what this puts out. You can adjust the quality. This is really good quality. It's really close to the professional kind of quality. There's no pixelization. It's really good quality. I stream these on, let me see, I got a 34-inch TV, and it looks great. It's just equal to, like, say, Netflix. That kind of quality that you get from Netflix, that's what you'll get from this. Pretty close, or better. So I went through, it's HDMI out and in. So you'd have the DirecTV into here, split it off into two signals, and one of those signals should go to the ClonerBox. Holding the button, I think I talked about the quality and the price. I'll add some more pictures so you can kind of, I won't add the whole video, I'll just put like a screenshot maybe, or maybe something like in the corner of this video to kind of show you the good quality. But it really needs to be a high, 720p, but this video isn't going to be 720p, so it's going to be reduced. But I'll zoom in so it's exactly proportional to this video. You won't see the whole picture, but you'll just see the resolution to get an idea. I haven't seen many videos. I've usually seen these for PlayStation, video games to record your gameplay. And there was nothing really on there to tell you what kind of quality, recording a TV show. There was really nothing I could find really fast. So that's why I'm doing this video, because it's kind of a handy little gizmo to record your shows. Although I do prefer any kind of capture card like this over something simple like this, just because the quality is just so high on here. Blu-ray quality if you use one of these. This one they don't make anymore, but there's plenty similar capture cards for over-the-air ATSC standard shows. So it's about 10 minutes in. I can't think of any problems I've ever had. If there's a problem, this little LED will be solid. There's instructions on the web for this if you want to check out some of the specs on this, but I think it can go to pretty high resolutions. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Its capture format is MP4 and it's H264. NTSC or PAL. The USB can be FAT32 or NTFS. The input signal HDMI, of course. Bit rate 10 megapixels per second max. The ClonerBox will record several 2 gig files if the USB is FAT32, so it has to split up those files. But let me see, if in NTFS format, HDMI ClonerBox will record only one file with greater size. So, you know, if you've got a 3-hour movie, that might be like, depending on the resolution or the dimensions, could be 6 gig or higher. Maximum storage capacity 2 terabytes. So this doesn't have, I don't think it has internal. It must just mean that it maxes out, even if you had like a, and I have not tried this, having like an external hard drive, but I would really caution you against that, because I've done tests on these USBs, and I've done tests with here we go. I've got an extension cord. Now these extension cords aren't bad. All they do is go line through. But if you put a hub between this and this box, you'll get slower speeds. So that might mess up your writing capability. So I would avoid these extension cords, and I'd avoid hard drives, especially the USB 3.0s need more power, and I don't think this little thing can put out enough power for external hard drives to work. I might try, and I might try a hard drive. I might try a USB 2.0 external and 3.0. And if I do that test, it will be tacked on to the end of this video. But I don't think it'll work, because I've tried the USB, or actually the View TV ATV 163. Basically, this is a converter box, and it has a capture, or a USB port right here to capture my TV shows in high definition, 1080p and all that good stuff. And this had a real hard time recording to USB 3.0 hard drives. I had a 1 terabyte USB 3.0 in here, and it couldn't take the output. It would say it recorded, but then there'd be splotches on the hard drive to where there'd be nothing. So you'll definitely have some power issues if you use a external hard drive instead of thumb. If you're worried, and if you need the higher capacity or a faster USB, the fastest one I have found is the VisionTech USB 3.0 120 gig solid state drive. This is like having a PC stick. You know, you could put an operating system on here, and the read-write speed is tremendous on here. The thing is, if you run this for an hour or so, this will get really hot. So there's a lot of speed going through here. So if you're bummed that you can't use, or actually I'll find out if you can't use a hard drive, external hard drive to put in here. I'll try it. If you're bummed that you can't use a external hard drive, this will probably be just as good or better, because this still has the same speed, but it doesn't require the over 5 volt or better to spin that thing up. This is all solid state, so I've recorded 1080p with this on the View TV, and it works flawlessly. No skips or jumps, and the digital MPEG raw 60 frames a second output is flawless. There's no signal loss. Oh, I should also say that this will record in 60 frames a second. So that's in the manual. Okay. Resolutions, or the input, 1080p 50 frames and 60 frames per second. There's all kinds. There's like a dozen different resolutions. Let me see. There's 1280 by 768, 60 frames. 720 by 480, 60 frame eye. I'm not sure what the eye is, but most of this is 60 to 50 frames. There is a 24 frame, like the 920 by 1080, 24 frames per second, and a 25 frames per second. So it will record that. There is I forgot to mention, there is a where is it? Okay, there is a mic. There is a mic, so you can put like a 3.5 millimeter, and I've got several of them. They're 3.5 millimeter, and then they go to RCA, so you can plug it in the back of a direct TV. If the sound doesn't work, I'm not sure why you would need it unless the audio was encrypted. All right. I think I've got everything from the manual talked about. I can't think of anything else. So right after, I'm just about done. Right after this video, I'm going to have my the continuation of this and the test of the hard drive, putting like a 2.0 hard drive and a 3.0 USB hard drive, external hard drive in here to see if it'll record. So that's up next. So stay tuned and keep coming to my videos on the TheIDBand channel. Okay, here is the video output of the HDML ClonerBox. I recorded this one at 720 to 480, and the video is 640 by 480. So here's a little bit look of the quality. The frames per second are only 15 frames a second of my video. I didn't get into the file name. It has a predetermined file name, encode, underscore, and then a running count of whatever video you're on. I'm at 21. I've recorded 21 videos. And then MP4. It's kind of hard to, if I fast forward, there'll be a little pixelation, but then it'll come up and work properly. If you want to encode this video, basically, if you want to cut out the commercials easier, the only way I can see to do it is to get a program called Pizzera Free MP4 to AVI. Basically, you'd add this file, and there's an MPEG portion in here. And basically, the MPEG 2 file is fine. Just put all auto, and it'll make a big, about the same size MPEG file. And those are much easier to cut using any kind of software. Vidimux to cut out the commercials, then just make an MPEG or MP4 of it. So that's my hint on that. Otherwise, you're going to have commercials left in there. I like to get the commercials out, especially if I'm saving it for a long time. So let me go ahead and run it. I think this is recorded at 60 frames a second. Pretty good quality. And I don't think there's any interlace frames. So that's this portion of the video. So I don't think I'll add any more unless I do a HDML, or what am I talking about? External hard drive test on the ClonerBox. If not, that's the end of the video, and thanks for watching my video. Stay tuned for that other part of the video, but if not, this has been the TheIDBand channel. Okay, this is the section where I told you I'd test the external hard drives for the ClonerBox, HDML ClonerBox. And both of them work. This is the USB 2.0, and here's the 3.0, 500 gig. I think this is 1 terabyte USB 3.0 here. They both worked. They both made MP4s that were flawless, so there wasn't any power issues. I only tried it once. I think this one I had on for like an hour, and this one I had on for a half an hour, and it worked just fine. So that's that. There is one thing about the ClonerBox I didn't touch on, was the HDMI in and out. If the power is off, the signal is not a through signal, so you can't leave this hooked up and powered on 24/7, or I wouldn't, but you would have to have it turned on 24/7 for the signal to go through to your TV. So that's another reason why I had the splitter box, so you can just have the output going to your ClonerBox, and you don't have to start, unplugging the HDMI all the time. So, which I've done. So I think that's it. I think I covered everything. Stay with the TheIDBand channel for more great reviews. Thank you.